Check, check. Hello. Check, check. Hello. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for coming to the third stream of the week. Like usual, I'm just finishing up a little bit of self-promotion here now that the stream's going. How's everyone doing tonight? Hello. Arctil, Nathaniel, and Xerox EXE 111. Someone commented on one of my whips in Discord and said comfort colors, and I guess it is the comfort colors. Will be less so. I guess it's also kind of just at colors other than the gold. Alright, almost done. You trying to get home to start working on projects? What are you thinking of working on tonight? Okay, it looks like everything went through. Let's make sure my phone's not on ringer. Double check all these. All right. I will lower the screen now. Good, it looks like the chat box is working. And unfortunately it won't be a super burp heavy stream because I am drinking a coffee. Because I just ate a big double cheeseburger, so I need to stop the burger coma from happening. Oh, I didn't even know you were gone, Nathaniel. Welcome back. Yeah, no need to be sorry, Xerox. If Fiverr shows up this stream, they'll appreciate my Moomin merch that I'm showing off this stream, I guess. Alright, start getting ready to paint here. As the title of this stream implies, we've moved on from the base coating and we're on to edge highlighting. Everything is going according to plan, according to what I said yesterday, so that's good. Yeah, so I'm in like the middle of a cheeseburger coma right now. Don't mind me if I'm a little slower than usual. So for the turquoise edge highlight, we're still using this, the Titan Dark Navy, but we're mixing it with this good old school Games Workshop Hawk Turquoise, or it's Citadel color. This definitely had to be mixed with a bit of water. It was starting to dry up. And then the black edge highlights are doing the same thing we did on the Gushin. The first round being a mix of P3 Ironhull Gray and Vallejo Game Color Black. It's this Moomin merch I'm talking about, if you can see it, Nathaniel. This is like a character from a Finnish cartoon. Yeah, there you can see it. A Finnish cartoon called Moomin. I can't remember what this character is called. Alright, we gotta re-moisten the wet palette a bit. First things first. Did you get excited, Nathaniel, thinking I had my own merch? I don't have any of that yet, unfortunately. Something I haven't had the time to get around doing. A phrase many performing artist has said, or creative. Bit more. I do see some flecks of dried up gunk I'm just gonna try and clean up before I get to actual brushwork. I think there's been at least 1 or 2 other weeks in my content creator career that I've done 3 streams in a week, but I feel like this is the first time I've done 3 nights of streaming in a row. So that feels, I don't know, a little fancy, I guess. I'm glad I was able to work out this week. We'll see. We'll see how, I mean, I know I'm not going to be able to keep up 3 streams a week, like, indefinitely, because the streaming is more based around what projects I have going on. You know, I'm not going to, like, be streaming 3 times a week when I'm editing the video for this. Oh, I'm glad you like my logo, Nathaniel. I'll keep that in mind. And welcome, Robert. Don't have to worry about being late. I'm not getting merch. I was just discussing the topic because I was talking about merch for a cartoon series. That's the mug I have right now. It's Moomin merch. Then Nathaniel thought I was talking about my own merch, which is non-existent. So I've got I did a bit of work just to record for the video today, so you can see I've got some initial edge highlights started on the torso and the arm here. The sword wielding arm, I did the edge highlights on that already, but you know, that's behind me, not much point in showing you. It's only the initial edge highlight, so it's not too exciting. I feel like in my initial mixing, I've gone too dark with the gray and then too bright with the turquoise. Oh, there's a little coffee burp. We're still getting some burps. Let's start with the slightly more boring color. We'll do black first. Gotta clean up this pool in the corner so it doesn't accidentally pull any paint into the sponge. So yeah, the mix of gray I did here earlier looks too dark. So there might be a bit of inconsistencies across the model with the paint mixing, but that's fine if it's not the, it's fine because it's just the first round of airbrushing. So Nathaniel, you got your G paints in today? Do you have your airbrush already? Are you gonna be testing those out soon? Or do you have to get your kit ready for it still? That feels like the slightly lighter shade of gray I need. Alright, let's get down to business here. Boy, focusing is gonna be fun on this part, I can already tell. Let's try and reposition a bit, maybe if I hold it like this, it'll stay in focus better because I can focus on my hand. If the shade of gray is a bit lighter, I feel a little inclined to go back over these lines for comparison's sake. I made some of these lines a bit too thick as well, so I'll be going over the middle parts to add a bit of black back into it later. Probably. That'll be in like the cleanup round that happens off camera, when all the pieces are edge highlighted. I know we did a lot of arm painting last stream, but I've only got the one arm piece handy for this stream, and I'll finish it up first. So this stream will mostly be like finishing the torso probably, but there's plenty of interesting edges across it. Oh, hello Fiverr. I'm out of coffee, but I'll hold up this mug again to the camera because I know you'll enjoy it. I'll just pretend I'm taking a sip. Coffee. Congrats on the Kutan booster, and hello Roku. Oh, now that I flexed my Moomin mug on you, Fiverr, your colorful candy terrain that I saw on Instagram is looking fire. Where's the Kutan booster from, Nathaniel? Can you remind me? And this brush has developed quite the hook. For this part, I can kind of use the hook to my advantage. As the Kutan booster from Iron-Blooded Orphans. It's not the like, is it the long range like mobility thing the Barbatos like rides in for one episode? Felt like I needed to make the camera slightly more dark there. Let me know if you disagree. The window in my room is open. I can hear kids playing out in the courtyard or out in the green space outside. Can any of you hear that? Let me know, because I can close my window. It's not, I got my curated background music. I don't want to bamboozle anyone with the sudden sounds of children playing. I feel like that's not most of people's like hobby time background music vibe. Okay, I know what booster you're talking about. Oh, Roki, you got a Master Grade Kyrios. Congratulations. Ethan, I've only played a little bit more Gamma Wolves, not much. The only games I've had the time to play has just been like with my usual D&D group. And then some Conquest, and even then the Conquest stuff has only been a thing I've been able to do in like the last, like I only started getting back into it last couple months. I did read that volume of Blaster, or I read the chapter about with the Gamma Wolves expansion in that volume of Blaster I was talking about the other stream. Read that today as like some like additional campaign rules to like have Ronin roles for pilots that are specialized. So there's like a sniper, a guardian, and what's the other one called? A hunter or something. It's like a long range shooting one, a melee one, and a guardian I think it was called. And there's like, you can level up their specific like specialized skill points by like completing certain actions in campaign games. Like the level of their class is separate from their actual pilot level. So that was just a quick little short expansion read for Gamma Wolves I read this morning, which was cool. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have the time to be playing regular Gamma Wolves and Conquest. I think the black on that arm can be called done. The Metal Gear Excelsius for your Gundam. Gunmetal for the frame, red, dark iron, and black. That sounds cool. The Sky Grasper was a fighter aircraft, originally designed to support the strike. Cool, yeah, I think I've seen some pictures of that. Yeah, I mean, it's fine if your own different customs look alike. Nathaniel just makes them look like they're part of the same crew. That's a lot of tags, Robert. Yeah, Ethan, as just let me check the volume. I'll just show you real quick. It's right over here. So it's volume 3 of Blaster. So it's got 5 different expansions for 5 different games in here. So you can see page 94, Gamma Wolves Ronin. I'll just flip through the couple pages here. I won't read it or anything. So there's 3 different paths to the Ronin you can take in your campaign games. You can see this is a 30-mana missions kit, which has some fun graphic design done to it. Here we got Path of the Hunter, Path of the Sword, and Path of the Guardian. So yeah. That's a little expansion of Gamma Wolves you can get in print form. There might be versions of that rules in the Facebook group or somewhere else. Or you can definitely find it on Drive-Thru RPG, I believe. Hello, Lewis. It is time consuming, but most of the time it's pretty enjoyable. Nice, enjoy relaxing, Fiverr. What humidity is safe to paint outside? That's a good question. I think it would have to be like pretty humid for it to like start becoming an issue. I don't live in a humid spot though, so it's not like common knowledge among the hobbyists here, so that might be something you have to ask in a Discord or a Reddit or something, or a Facebook group, or just Google. It doesn't have to be like bone dry or anything for you to be able to paint outside though. A 4-legged Gamma Wolves artillery point. Zone of the Endless, that sounds cool. So they're probably for a Ghosts of Tiamat team or crew. Not my most refined line work, but it's okay because these are just the first edge highlights. I'm sure most of you know the drill by now. Oh, you're working on a Gamma Wolves app, that's cool. I'll check that out when it's ready. I have the, I think the Battle Scribe app has some Gamma Wolf stuff in it, but I haven't, I just briefly checked it out. I haven't, actually tried to use it in a game. You got him a Rick Diaz 5 years ago and he's finally building it. Nice. Glad I could help facilitate that. Hello, Caleb. That sounds like a cool custom review. Nice that you came up with a pilot for it too. Heck, he just shoulders which have a shorter peg than the Gundam frames. So does that mean it's not working? Or it goes together easier? I'm not, I can't remember what the Hekija shoulders look like. I think I've heard that name before. I'd watch a game show, a trivia game show that was all just like Gundam knowledge. That'd be fun. Like Jeopardy, but it's all Gundams and pictures of Gundams. Now there's a bit of a weird spot where you can see the paint dried a little funny on the black there. Try and give that another coat later. Also see some improper nub removal there. It's not in a super visible area though. Alright, that's the only black part there. Still got a bit on the palette to use up before we switch to turquoise. Oh good, I'm glad your crisis was averted. Vidar would look good with Bale's backpack. Yeah, Fiverr, I would probably only be mediocre at Gundam Jeopardy. I'd be better at like Ghost in the Shell Jeopardy. The main mecha type tabletop RPGs that come to mind for me, Robert, are Battletech and Lancer. There's one I saw, a new one that's coming out, I saw at UK Games Expo called Salvage Union, I think. Lancer, Lancer, there's like a combat system so you can play with miniatures. It'd have to be like whatever minute, like they don't make their own as far as I'm aware. They have lots of cool art for their mech design, but they don't have any miniatures because I think it's like an RPG that can be, it doesn't necessarily have to be played with them. As far as I know, I haven't actually played Lancer. BattleTech, obviously you use BattleTech minis, but you know, any tabletop RPG is like, you can homebrew it to whatever extent you need. Salvage Union, I'm not sure. You know, the tabletop RPG scenes had a lot of cool indie stuff pop up this year and in later, or in just recent years in general, so I'm sure there's a few good mecha offerings out there, whether they're like takes on the D&D 5e system or something else. Hello there, Hitoshi. Alright, see ya, Ethan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there isn't an official mech version of D&D, but there's probably multiple, like, homebrew versions of, like, mech D&D or D&D RPG, or mech RPGs that use the D&D rules as a framework. I can't remember if it's a war game or a TTRPG, but there's one called Heavy Gear. I feel like that's more of like a miniature war game though. Or maybe it's like BattleTech where it's a war game, but they also have a TTRPG version. Sounds like some cool kit bashing going on there, Nathaniel. What's my opinion about Super Robot Plamo? I think they're pretty cool. There hasn't been any that like I've been inspired enough to buy, probably because I've only watched like I haven't really watched much Super Robot anime, but it's I always respect, or most of the time I respect Bandai when they put out, you know, a kit that has some cool engineering put into it that isn't Gundam. Like the Gogg one recently seemed like had some pretty cool gimmicks. And a cool like combination mode and all that. Yeah, I think it's good that Bandai's done them. I hope they keep doing them, but I'll be salty if they keep doing those but stop doing the Digimon ones, because I'm more interested in it. The Digimon ones are like the non-Gundam kits that I actually tend to buy sometimes. that both Blue Parappa and I tend to get. Because we like Digimon. I'm not gonna fully edge highlight this part at the back here because most of it's gonna be covered up by the backpack. I've seen the Liger from Zoids. I don't know if the last kit I saw was the Bandai one or not, or some other one. I haven't stayed up to date with all the Zoids releases or anything. Camera being choppy? Only a little bit. And yeah, you can see these black parts from the shoulders are staying in here now. They were attached to the arms when I was painting them earlier, but now that they're in here, there's no way for me to take them out without some major chipping. Part, the top of the chest here, it's got some real nooks and crannies going on. Gonna have to concentrate. So I need to reverse my brain's thinking a bit. I'm not thinning the paint enough because the last two streams I kept saying I've been thinning it too much, but now I need to go the opposite direction and thin it a bit more. You've got a crucifix made from spare Iron-Blooded Orphans parts, oh boy. The amount I do have the model on the barbecue skewer right now, but with the amount I'm still touching with my hands, I should probably put gloves on. We're still early enough in the project, I think I can get away with being a bit lazy. Still lazy in the sense of not wanting my hand to get clammy from wearing the glove for like 2 hours or more. Have I experimented with kitbashing using other plamos? Not things like tanks and planes and stuff, but like I've kitbashed between Kotobukiya stuff and Bandai stuff, but you know, that's still pretty much, you know, that's still all like mecha plamo. It's not too crazy. I've kitbashed a lot of miniatures stuff, but I haven't kitbashed, as far as I know, I haven't kitbashed any like miniatures pieces onto gunpla, though that's something I've thought of before. With non-high grades, yeah, my Buster Gundam that I did for Gamma Wolves, that's a master grade kitbash. And you know, I did a kitbash with the master grade Barbatos. The green heavy arms I painted has a bit of kitbashing going on. Yeah, there's videos with all of those in my hand-painted Model Mayhem style playlist. And yeah, the Wing Zero was another one I did for Gamma Wolves that has, and that's a real grade that I did some kitbashing with. You know, and a decent amount of times when I've kitbashed a high grade, I've used pieces from a real grade, or I'm pretty sure the Master Grade Heavy Arms kitbash has some high grade pieces on it. Hello, Shane. Welcome. Mikazuki does mean moo. Or that's one way to say moon, I should say. Oh, just a teeny tiny bit of black left on the palette. I think I mostly got the black edge highlighting on here. So let's just go ahead and switch to the turquoise. When I open this pot, I get hit with a waft of nostalgic old GW paint smell. It has like a distinct smell. I don't know if anyone else knows this scent I'm referring to. It's like different from the other brands. And different from like the modern GW smell. I don't know how to explain it. Part of an action base into a barbatos to give it a telescope arm. I'm sure that could work with the right telescope arm. Oh yeah, just look at that old rim just caked with paint. Shove the core Gundam into the forever box? What's the forever box? Is that the box that stays in forever? I don't understand. I feel like this mix could use just a bit more of the navy. Well, nothing wrong with never having done a custom before. It's never too late to start. Glorified coffin. This is the forever box, what the core Gundam goes inside, like the armor that goes on top of it. Is this like an accessory that comes with the kit, or is this something else? Okay, this arm is pretty close to being done. Yeah, there's only a few turquoise highlights left to do on it. Gonna switch to the gloved hand for a bit. Gotta make sure I don't touch the wet paint. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Dolfo. Also, hello, thanks for coming by. Appreciate the support, glad you could make it. Hope you're having a fine Wednesday. Hope I can keep the camera nice and focused for you all. Or nice and in focus. Guyver vibes with the turquoise, nice. painting Lego to train for the real deal. Interesting. Nice, glad you had a fat nap. A high grade forever box. I like the sound of that. It just sounds humorous. Okay, it's like a Gundam graveyard, I see. That makes sense. Oh, damn, turns out if you eat a double cheeseburger for dinner, you get tired. Yeah, it sounds like a classic summer sleep schedule you got there, Nathaniel. Yeah, when it's extra hot in times like these, it makes it even harder to get a regular sleep schedule. Okay, just like one section on the bicep left. Yeah, double sounds tight, but not as tight as just a nice bitter black coffee. Is my caffeine of choice. Are there any Twin Peaks fans in the chat? I like my coffee black as night on a moonless night. And I was drinking coffee before I watched Twin Peaks, but after I watched Twin Peaks was when I truly started enjoying coffee a lot more, I think. Just because Agent Dale Cooper just has such a passionate enjoyment of that black brew. It's infectious. Alright, well, the edge highlighting on this arm, we can just call that done for the sake of this session. I'll put it under the dust cover. Yeah, with a slice of cherry pie. I mean, it hasn't been as hot where I am as it is where you are, Dolfo. But it's gone pretty hot. Like, today and yesterday weren't so bad, but there's actual heat wave warning in the weather. The day before got to 34 degrees Celsius at its highest point. Sorry, I don't know what that is in freedom numbers off the top of my head. Might take a stretch break to get some water after I do the turquoise on this part. So I made my coffee before the stream, but I forgot to fill up my water bottle. Oh man, I couldn't quit coffee. I would be a freaking wreck for 3 months if I had to give up coffee. That would be quite a challenge. Like, I could probably do it as long as I could get caffeine from some other source, but it would be sad times if I had to give up caffeine completely. Oof. I'm addicted to that stuff. Like most people. Sorry if all the talk of coffee was triggering you earlier, Dolfo. Triggering those cravings. It's probably, you probably see a lot of coffee that activates your cravings throughout the day though. Probably nothing new. Switch to holding this for some slightly better control. I just got in the zone with that rim there. It's quite the rim job, you could say. Haha. Bad joke. I already make enough jokes about edging, like... Oh, you spilled coffee on your white hoodie right before a road trip? That sucks. Iced Americano with a shot of espresso. That's a solid hit of caffeine right there. What's a kilometer? Yeah, you've been working at 46 degrees Celsius. That's pretty rough. The coffee Monster Energy is pretty good. It's a little sweet for my taste, but it's still good. Mud water. I have heard of that. It's too bad it doesn't have the same caffeine kick. Yeah, sometimes review, I'll read the instruction manuals. I did some translation practice on them once. I've been bad about my Japanese practice the last year or so, though. Oh, nice. I'm glad I triggered the Twin Peaks nostalgia, Shane. I'm glad I got you with the edging joke there, Dolfo. You're welcome. paint is a little too... Whoops. We're just a little too thin here. Gotta wipe some of that up and redo it when it's dry. Yeah, every time I have an edge highlighting joke, I make the same, or every time I have an edge highlighting stream, I make the same joke every time, so I'm glad some of you are still appreciating it. Getting a little sloppy on this edge here. A big fiber of something was in the brush there. Yeah, I don't throw away my manuals either. And I don't think that's bad, Roku. Although I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Alright, time for the second rim job. Did anyone here play the game Rim World? I haven't. But it's always on those Steam lists. Maybe I'm getting confused with the Outer Rims. Alright, now we just gotta take care of this middle section, which I'm not entirely sure how to approach it because of this awkward gap. that is not symmetrical, so I can't just paint it as if it's a panel line. There was some gap filling I debated doing with this project, but when I looked at the gaps that I did have, I thought that like, they can just be painted as if they're panel lines. So there's not that many and I want to save the time. Yeah, I can believe that, Roku. There's plenty of... well, I would say there's plenty of ways to cook a fish. I don't know much about smoking fish. I'm sure there's a few different ways you could smoke a fish. Okay, we'll call this piece done for this stream. Speaking of rim jobs... Parts unknown kick. Is that like a show about food? But if it's set in Libya, I'm assuming it touches on some of the issues that have been happening in that part of the world. Alright, see you, Daniel. Appreciate you coming by. Before I move on to painting the next piece, I'm going to just grab some water and have a quick stretch. I'll be back in like 30 seconds, everybody. Okay, I'm back. Let's lower that screen. Oh, shooting the fish. I see what you mean. I should have figured that one out. Alright, so I awkwardly kind of started in the middle and I painted this earlier, so... guess we'll go from the bottom and work our way up. The minimum length I wanted to go for on this stream was 1.5 hours, which I'm definitely gonna reach. I feel like I can at least get to 2 hours tonight. First stream this week, I think it did just over 3 hours. And then last night was just over 2.5 hours. That's 5.5. So once I get to 1.5 hours, that means I'll be hitting 7 hours of streaming this week. pretty good for me. Also, sorry, it's the content is just, or the regular YouTube videos are taking a while to come out. I know most of you have the gracious opinion of like, just take however long you need. And I appreciate that. YouTube is all, it will never be like that though, unfortunately. There's always going to be the pressure to upload. I've just had lots of stuff going on that like hasn't been YouTube related. It's been like mostly good stuff. It just hasn't been good for like putting out regular consistent YouTube videos, but hey, when have I ever been good at that, am I right? I'm also doing that like awkward thing where I've been like, I mean, I've been working on this aerial video a lot, obviously, but I've also been like, I had to do some conquest work on the side for like the videos that's coming after the aerial video. And that's because I've had to like prep some conquest stuff for like the local community meetups, which have like an indirect benefit to the YouTube channel because it like helps my mental health, going out and like gaming with people and socializing. You know, if my mental health is good, then I can keep doing YouTube. But then awkwardly, the stuff that improves my mental health harms the YouTube channel because it means I'm not spending time inside by myself making videos, so lots of cognitive dissonance. I never finished season 3 of Twin Peaks, but I've heard that I should, and it was good. It was nice and Lynchian. I mostly didn't finish it because I was watching it with my dad, and then our schedules stopped lining up. What side is this mobile suit? Oh, it's neither part of the protagonists or the antagonists, if you're referring to like my other Gamma Wolves team. This one's part of a new team, which I haven't named yet, and the only other member of the team currently is the Gushin. I suppose that Astaroth leftovers kitbash I made in the last video is like a tentative member. I have no idea when that one's getting painted, so that's why I say it's tentative. Because my Gamma Wolves crews, you gotta be painted to be on the crew officially. I just thought of something funny. What if Bandai released an accessory set that's just like a bicycle for your Gundam to ride? I don't know if I'd buy that, but that'd be hilarious. Yeah, I mean, in the Gamma Wolf setting, there isn't really quite good guys or bad guys. It's just, you know, whichever team you want to root for. Which, you know, most of the time I assume would be your personal crew. And you'd buy that immediately? Good to know. Yeah, I mean, who am I kidding? I'd buy it. Yeah, I don't know. My team name, like, there'll be I guess neutral, but or like they'll fight the antagonist or the protagonist, or maybe one day the protagonist and the antagonist will team up against them. I don't think they're gonna be called team neutral though. I gotta come up with something flashier. Team neutral doesn't have the same buzz to it like protagonists or antagonists. This like there's no like panel line here to give it defined edge to paint, so I'm kind of like doing some guesswork with it and saying it's like roughly here. But I don't know, it might look better the other way, but or might look better a bit higher, but I'm committed to this for now. Maybe I'll change my mind later. Maybe when I paint the other side I can try it the other way and see which way it looks best. Pull a U and call them the Scrap Collector. The Renegades, that's a cool name too. The Agonists. A variant of the Antagonists. A spin-off team, perhaps. Also, hello, Ronald Doe. Oh, Shane, I missed the part of your message earlier where you said people were mad about Dougie Jones. I personally enjoyed Dougie Jones. I thought that was pretty hilarious. Hello, John. Thanks for coming. The gold frame, the first like initial layer was airbrushed on, just like a quick and dirty coat of thinned Vallejo paint for the airbrush, and then you'll see this in the video. Then I took like a dry brush like mixed in a bit of silver with the gold color I was using, and dry brushed and kind of stippled a bunch of it. And I also used some good old Games Workshop Nuln oil. And then these metallic bits up here, that's shifter paint, which was also kind of like dry brush stippled on after an initial airbrushing layer. And thanks for joining, Ronald. Yeah, hand painting on, or getting like a smooth, well, I mean, getting a smooth coat on with hand painting the metallics is just about as hard as with the colors, I'd say. Depends, I guess. It's like, yeah, especially on like large flat surfaces, I find it's harder to get like a really nice finish with the metallics if you're hand painting it all on. Well, that's mostly just with like larger flat surfaces. And you know, it's not really recommended you use metallics on a wet palette. And if you don't have a wet palette, doing like long extended sessions of base coating is just slightly more annoying. Oh, camera's lagging a bit. I'm glad you like the look of the gold, John. I take the die cast comparison as a compliment. And yeah, I'm using this gold. The base for it was Vallejo model color old gold, I believe. Vallejo has like a brand of like airbrush paint, like metallic airbrush paints. I can't remember what they're called exactly, but apparently they're pretty good. Army painters, I like their tone, their washes and their metallics a lot. I haven't had a great time with their regular colors, but I think the last time I used them was like two different like they've improved the formula multiple times since I've used them. But I like Army Painter for their like non-paint products, like the washes. Oh, and I'm using the Army Painter wet palette right now, and I love the Army Painter wet palette. It's pretty great. And my thoughts on the Calibarn are that it slaps. I like it. I think it's cool. I think it's cool enough that if, you know, part of me secretly wishes when, you know, when/if a master grade from the Witch from Mercury series comes out, it's the Calibarn. I feel, yeah, it's hard to say, like, Like the Ariel's the most iconic protagonist suit from the show. But I don't know, the Calibarn's pretty sweet. There already is the full mechanic Ariel. But I mean, I think we had this conversation on like Monday's stream. It's like, I feel like more people want / it would make more sense for there to be another Master Grade Iron Blooded Orphans kit first. I feel like a broken record saying that. Team Nemesis. Well, feel free to use that team name yourself. I'll come up with one on my own time. Team Nemesis isn't a bad name though. It's kind of similar to Antagonist. Shout out to Robert's brother George. And yet 3 days in a row streaming. But I think that's a first for me. It's not the first, I don't think it's the first time I've done 3 streams in 1 week, but I think it's the first time I've done 3 streams in a row, or like 3 days of streaming in a row. I don't have the Elfrith Geo on pre-order. I don't really have anything on pre-order right now. Although I did message my local plastic dealer and tell him to put me on the list for the Metal Greymon Figure Eye Standard kit whenever that comes out, or that's coming out sometime in the fall. So I suppose that kind of counts as a pre-order. You know, I love me some Metal Greymon. As soon as that like preview image of it, like the gray plastic version from the trade show was shown earlier this year, I was like, oh yeah, definitely getting that. It's only the coolest Digimon there is. Or one of the coolest. I'll have to have a conversation about that with Blue Parappa later. She's the Digimon expert. Well, it made it to an hour and a half, not bad. Means I've officially done 7 hours of streaming this week. Don't ask me for how many hours the camera has been in focus. It's gotten better each day. should just start incorporating a round of just brushing down the model for dust all the way, all over before I actually apply any paint. So it probably makes more sense to just brush the dust off as I go, because the dust will accumulate as I paint. Dust and random hairs, of course. Mystery hairs that aren't from my beard, because if they were a beard hair, they'd be a lot more bigger and more wiry. Oh, the Elfrith Geo, is that the one with like the one big hand? That's a cool design. Yeah, I mean, I have the Blue Eyes White Dragon kit. Me and Blue Prep have built a decent amount of the Digimon ones. I don't think I'm gonna be painting the Blue Eyes White Dragon one. That's just either one I'll build on my own time for fun or like build casually on stream. Alright, see ya, Roku. Cheers. Thanks for the beer emoji. Oh, the Elfrith Geo is the one with the hand gimmick. With the big hand. I saw some people that were like ordering 2 of them so they could have 2 of the hands. Which is like, yeah, that would definitely look pretty cool. That's an expensive kitbash though. I mean, most P Bandai involved kitbashes are pretty expensive. Any standout kits from the Digimon kits? Well, the Imperial Dramon kit was a standout is in its disappointment. The Alphamon kit was pretty good. I didn't build that one, it was just Blue Parappa. The Dukemon kit was pretty decent. I wish I haven't built the War Greymon one, like War Greymon Amplified. This one I kind of wish I had on the shelf. But I don't wish I had that one as much as I wish for the Metal Greymon. Which I'll get eventually now. The Metal Garurumon is pretty good too. That one's nice for coming with a base. The first one me and Blue Parappa built, if you remember, one of the really early Model Mayhem videos was Omnimon or Omegamon, as some call him. That one was pretty jank, but I have fond memories of it. Because it represents me and Blue Parappa, or me corrupting Blue Parappa into the hobby. Corrupting her into buying the plastics. Which, you know, wasn't that hard because she was already into plenty of nerdy things before we met. It was an easy sell. And she's like a legit Digimon fan too, so. So like going halvesies on a Digimon kit was an easy sell. Yeah, John, you can, only the patrons, or I guess there's been or earlier today I posted the put together pics of this work in progress stage to Patreon first, and then there I put it, like, some of the pictures, not all of them, in some Discords right before I started the stream. And you can see it in the thumbnail for this stream. Yeah, we haven't built the machine Dramon kit, but I've seen it in person and it looks pretty sweet. We almost picked it a couple times. Thanks for stopping by, John. The machine Dramon kit is also like really asking for LEDs to be put in it, you know? Alright, gotta highlight all these lines on the back of the model, which won't really be visible. I just have to make sure I don't get carried away and paint freehand on these parts. Because that would definitely be a bit of a waste of energy. I suppose I'll have to check the 360 rotations to just see how much of it is visible. Because I'm sure at the very least there'll be some like corners worth adding some extra edge highlights to. But yeah, if I could justify not, like, you know, saving some time with the freehanding, that'd be probably useful. And yes, chrome airbrushing, that as well. I saw a good custom of it that used that, like, it was like a metallic red panel liner. And it wasn't like a hand mixed, or like a homebrew panel liner. It's like a metallic red panel liner out of the bottle. And it looked, you know, really good on machine Dramon. Alright, this is going by a bit faster than I originally thought it would, which is good. We're almost done the initial edge highlights on Yield Torso here. You can see how I initially did an edge highlight of like the pure turquoise color, and then I thought it looked too bright. I can like go back over these a bit, but it's still gonna look a little bit brighter. Should be fine. It just means in the later stages of edge highlighting I gotta do less on that area. Plank Catacombs. That's a... Is that a card game? Yeah, with a kit that big, it's definitely one of the easier ones to put LEDs into. That is one area of hobby or scale modeling that I am quite a noob in, I'm afraid. That's Otaku Builders territory. You know, if I was going to do a proper project with LEDs someday, I would definitely use Otaku Builders videos as a resource. I like dabbled a bit with putting a LED in the master grade Justa kit. Cause that like has a cavity available, and I had a kind of like LED starter set lying around that I bought on a whim one day. But I didn't do a great job drilling a hole for the wire to go out of. And the LED itself was kind of disappointingly dim. So I kind of just, it was just like a little bit of a casual experiment that I kind of put in shelf purgatory indefinitely. You know, I'm sure I could figure out a better way to make it work, but I'd rather spend the time doing more tedious edge highlighting, thank you very much. Or, you know, painting some Conquest minis or whatever. There's always too much to do. That's how it goes, you know. Sorry, I bonked the mic there. In an awkward spot. How am I gonna... Okay, like this. Deck building tile-based board game. That sounds fun. I like me a deck building game. You don't have to be sorry, Robert. I'm blinking, George. Don't worry. It's not the blinking I so much need to watch out for, it's like the more regular stretching. And trying not to hunch over too much. I don't think I'm gonna add any more paint to the palette because I'm finishing up the torso now, so I'll grab another piece to start Doing the turquoise on. Probably a leg or something. Then when I'm out of paint, I'll wrap up the stream. You know, it's the third stream of the week. We'll make it a little shorter. But there'll be definitely more opportunity to stream on this project next week. Maybe on the weekend if some of my plans don't go through. I'm really looking forward to getting to this edge highlighting stage because the the Ariel's body just has a lot of good edges and curves for it. Like especially this torso. Yeah, turquoise and gold just looks really good. Yeah, I've never had too much of a problem with my eyes getting dry. I guess eye strain from time to time. Okay, well this is done. I'm just gonna grab another piece from behind me on the shelf. Yeah, a lot of the Witch from Mercury designs that when I see them, I'm like, that would be, or like that, the hand painting ideas go through my head immediately. Oh, really, Caleb? Good to know. Yeah, alright, I'll just start working on this here leg. Put the glove back on. Yeah, the Daribald, the Daribald has lots of like big smooth surfaces for getting gradients on them. Or, you know, doing freehand. You prefer the legs and feet on the rebuild, fair enough. I like the way the Mirasol flight unit looks better than the flight unit that the rebuild has. I like how the rebuild kind of has horns. What's everyone's favorite mobile suit from the Witch from Mercury? My gut instinct tells me that my favorite is the Calibarn. I'm not too hot on the Demi-Trainer, but I think Choo Choo's Demi-Trainer, when it gets the like big sniper gun, looks pretty sweet. Yeah, Ghoul's Dairy Belt would look pretty good in a reflective candy apple red. Schwarzette, Calibar, and Demi Barding in that order. Gotcha. The Schwarzette's pretty cool. Feract is also pretty cool. I also like the Ilfrith Yeah, we got it seems like, feels like the ones that are being brought up the most are the Calibar and the Schwarzette and the Daribald. But then the Feract has some, has a bit of a cult following. What about favorite characters and which from Mercury? Choo Choo's the only right answer, obviously. All aboard the Choo train. These thighs have a lot of nice open space on them for freehand designs. I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. And tedious. Just how I like it. Whoa, Choo Choo. Yeah, the Armored Core vibe, exactly. Hello, I see Hot Flash. Cecilia. Was she the one with the, like, who had that, like, the memes about the confession booth? This kit is mostly the, just the regular old high-grade Ariel. I'm using, like, a couple teeny tiny pieces from the bits box. I think, like, two bits from the core fighter from like that original high grade God Gundam, and then two like really tiny pieces from the real grade gold frame Amatsumina, a sword from high grade Bale, and then I'm using the Delanza's gun. The Zord heavy on the Tick Balong is also pretty cool. Yeah, and definitely they didn't show it off enough in the show, because I remember when I saw the design like of the model kit, I was pretty intrigued by it, but yeah, then it didn't have a ton of screen presence in the show, which I guess makes sense if it's kind of a grunt suit. Yeah, that Tick Balong model kit was surprisingly good as well from what I saw, but I haven't built it myself. Alright, got the top part of the leg highlighted there. Yeah, that's the sofa girl. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Thigh high sofa girl. Yeah, her design was pretty good. She was a fun character. I wonder if there'll be any spin-off stuff from Witch from Mercury. Now that it's proven to be a success. I mean, I hope if anything, since it's proven to be a success, that it encourages Sunrise to put out more like original Gundam anime. I mean, I'm assuming the Hathaway's Flash movies are still being worked on now. I'm always down for more Universal Century stuff. But you know, it was great having Witch from Mercury as like a new proper show to like tune into weekly. Hadn't really had that since Iron Blooded Orphans, really. Yeah, exactly, Caleb. I think the next anime thing that's coming out is like some like 3 or 6 episode thing to go along with like the build metaverse or whatever the heck is going on with that. It's like that, the one there was some random like entry grade kits announced for a while ago. Nothing I was too particularly excited for, just sounded more like more stuff about that like Gundam Breaker mobile game one that had there's like the short like free YouTube anime series that Barbatoris, that kit came from. I have one of those in the backlog still. I watched like maybe 3 episodes of that show and I was like, okay, maybe for a bit, it's a bit of a casual younger audience show. I don't know if I'll watch any more of this. There wasn't enough in it to get me invested like there was with Witch from Mercury. And there's that, I know about that, like, CGI Gundam show being made in Unreal Engine, but, you know, I'm assuming that's made by some other animator or studio that just has the licensing. You know, I'll check that out. Might be good. I don't have a hate on for completely computer generated shows. I've seen some okay ones. And then of course the live action Gundam movie, whenever that comes out, who knows? That one could be as far off as a master grade Witch from Mercury kit for all I know. Oh boy, we made it past 2 hours. Yep, I agree, Caleb. A new master grade, and it's the Kasai Gundam, however you say it. I hope that's not the next master grade. I'd much rather, like, I wouldn't get that one if that was a master grade. I don't like that design enough. It's a cool design. It's cool that it's different, but I don't like it enough to get a master grade of it. I do eagerly await the next Hathaway's Flash movie though, because I enjoyed the first one. And it left me wanting more, because, you know, it's like the first movie in a trilogy. It felt like just a lot of setup and not much else. But there's some absolutely gorgeous animation in there, and like really impressive digital compositing work on it too. Have I been ignoring you? No fucks? If you sent me a message on Instagram and I missed it, I'm sorry. I thought I checked my general messages. If you're trying to send me a message somewhere else, I might not have gotten it. Blunt, I airbrushed them at the beginning. I prime them with the airbrush and like do the metallics, the initial metallic coats airbrushed. And I don't have any plans to watch the new Seed movie, mostly because I haven't seen Gundam Seed, so I guess I probably should watch it. You mentioned it here? Oh, sorry, I'm painting at the same time, so you'll have to forgive me for not catching every message. So I wasn't ignoring you on purpose or anything. I just don't, there's only one of me here, so I can't always necessarily go back and like scroll up past all the messages to make sure I caught everyone. The only way to guarantee that I'll see a message and like respond to it is to do a super chat. That's the greedy me speaking. But I mean, doing the super chat literally like highlights the message very brightly, so it's hard to miss it, and it plays a little sound effect after some time passes. I mean, that's how it is with most streamers, right? You give like, you know, whether it's a bits donation or super chats or something, that's like the way to get a guaranteed response out of a streamer. Especially when you watch like a really popular streamers, their chats go by so fast, there's no way you can stay caught up with it. Oh, a Zoc? I do like me a Zoc. Consider me interested in a Zoc. Send me an email or a Instagram message about that, or feel free to. If you don't have my email anymore, it's located in the About tab on my YouTube channel. If you go to the About page, or go to my campsite.bio/mayhem, you know, the link in bio that I include everywhere. I appreciate you remembering that I was looking for a Zoc. One of the most underrated mobile suits. A Master Grade Testament and a Master Grade Astray Red Frame. That sounds like pretty epic diorama. I wasn't saying in that specific situation that you need to send me a super chat. No fucks. I was just saying that like the stream in general, the guaranteed way for me to not miss a message is that. I wasn't saying you need to do that. You got me to respond to your message by like accusing me of ignoring you, so and perking my interest with saying you had a Zoc. It's hard to interpret my voice sometimes. My monotone, just the default sound is either like sarcasm or sadness. But you never know how I'm feeling on the inside. That's my secret. Not sure how I want to edge highlight the bottom of the feet on this. I guess it needs some highlighting because it is like gonna be visible because it's in like a flight pose. Yeah, well the YouTube chat like blows up the message bigger and highlights it and stuff, and then I've programmed my the streaming software to play a little sound effect, and like there's like a tiny little animation with text that shows up. That's like something extra I programmed. Missed a bit of black paint there on the base coating stage. A Buku kit, Robert? Well, I think you should hang on to that one for yourself if you got one. Some time ago you said you were limited in the amount of kits you can have. I got plenty in my backlog, so you don't need to donate anything. I'm pretty sure Mr. No Fucks Givens has a bit of surplus plastic on his hands. Sorry to out you a bit there about that. At least that's what the situation seemed like last time when you had to send me some extra stuff. Back when I guess that was probably when I asked you if you had a Zoc. But I don't usually make like a regular thing of accepting donations for the channel. Do it on a case-by-case basis, I guess. I don't have like a official PO box set up or anything like that. Well, I highlighted all the turquoise on here that I can. Let's see how much paint's left on the palette. We got just enough left that I'll do just a little bit more work on the other leg. Might as well use the paint. Actually, just kidding. I'm gonna work on this thruster. Just until we're out of paint. Yeah, just to continue on the notes of the accepting donations there, I'm not in need of model kit donations or anything. I got plenty of plastic to work with. I don't like I said, I'll take donations to the channel on a case-by-case basis, but I don't want anyone like super going out of their way to like give me kits or anything. Like, you know, if you got a friend you want to get into the hobby or something, someone else you know might need a kit, rather you give it to them. But you know, I appreciate the thoughts. Oh, I see what the situation is now, Robert. That was the most cliche YouTuber thing to say ever, but the best way to support me if you want to help out the content stuff, it's on Patreon. But you know, I understand not everyone wants to use Patreon or can donate through Patreon, and there's other ways you want to show your support. Sharing my like proper like long form YouTube videos to places where like people would be inclined to actually watch them, that's a big help. I don't mean like, you know, if you like take one of my videos and just like share it to like your Facebook friends and family, It's like that doesn't help as much as like sharing it to a place that is like relevant to to gunpla, because you know someone who's not aware or like not into gunpla will be less inclined to watch a video that's about painting gunpla, or you know if it's like a video about painting miniatures conquest or something, same deal. It's like if you share, and this goes for like sharing your own stuff too, or just, you know, YouTube algorithm talk here. You send a video to someone and say like, hey, check this out. If they just kind of like are humoring you about it, or like being polite, like they might click on it, like hit the like button, watch like the first 30 seconds, couple minutes of it, and then like tune out when it's like, you know, if you send someone who doesn't know or is interested in gunpla at all, if you send them a gunpla video, they might just like watch part of it and then stop watching, and then that sends a bad message to the algorithm of like, someone's like, they started watching your video but they didn't like it enough to keep watching, so the video must not be that good. So that's kind of the double-edged sword when it comes to like sharing videos. And you know, of course, the likes and comments always help. Yeah, if you use ad blocker, you can turn like the ad blocker off. That helps like only marginally, just because like you as a singular person watching ads like only has a small impact on like the ad revenue. But one fun thing I learned recently, I guess I haven't fact checked this, but like people watching, or like when YouTube doesn't serve ads to people because they aren't using ad block, then that means that the people watching without ad block are like likely to get more ads from the YouTube system compensating, being like, oh well, we're showing less ads than usual because these people have ad block. That means we still have like a certain amount of ads we need to show though. So that was some kind of a bleak fact I heard about. I don't know if there's any way I could like fact check that. So don't quote me on it, I guess. Yeah, YouTube Premium, that's an ad blocker that doesn't harm the creators. Your YouTube, the money you pay for YouTube Premium when you watch a YouTuber's content, a share of your hard-earned cash that you paid for that YouTube Premium goes to the creator. I think the main issue with YouTube Premium is it's bundled with stuff that you don't necessarily need. Like there could almost be multiple tiers of YouTube Premium. Like, I think YouTube Premium is like what, $12. You also get YouTube Music. Like if you only want YouTube Premium for the lack of ads and playing videos or letting videos continue to play after you close the YouTube app, but you don't like necessarily want to use YouTube Music, then $12 seems like a lot. So maybe more people do YouTube Premium if there was like split into different tiers. Like you could do a bundle with YouTube Music. I guess Google's probably worried that like no one would use YouTube Premium or no one would use YouTube Music if you weren't like forced to get it through YouTube Premium. I don't know, I use Spotify, so I haven't looked much into YouTube Music. I don't have YouTube Premium either, because I'm pretty cheap. Okay, well I'll finish this face of the panel and then we'll call the painting done tonight. Just made a tiny little mistake there. Oh, welcome back, Rookie. Whoops. Let's sponge that up. Oh, that was a close one. I don't know how much of that was in focus. Just got a big splotch of turquoise paint on the gold there, no biggie. Probably means it's a good place to stop if I make a mistake like that. Okay. I'm gonna officially start wrapping up the stream now, so get in those last minute chats, whether they be questions, anecdotes, super chats, whatever, get them in now. You missed a bunch of edge highlighting, Rookie. That's pretty much it. Tore some paint up on the collar there, I'll have to fix that. Yes, very surprising. I did more edge highlighting. Well, I wish you luck with that goal, Robert. I'm glad I've inspired you to do Gamma Wolves Recue. Oh, and kitbash and Ariel. Very nice. And as much as I do promote Gamma Wolves on my channel, because it's a game I play, there are other tabletop games out there that you can use your gunpla with. Gamma Wolves is just the main one I've played. Thank you, Blunt. Yeah, the only other tabletop gaming gunpla game I've actually read was Mobile Suit Skirmish. And that one seems more suited to if you want to recreate combat from the Gundam shows. You know, that's Mobile Suit Skirmish has lots of stats for the actual mobile suits. Oh, here's the stats for the goof, and it's got a decently crunchy wargaming-esque rule set. But I haven't actually played that one. The only one I've actually played was Gamma Wolves. And yeah, like I said earlier, probably won't be any more streams this week, but you know, I got this my third stream in a row, third day of streaming in a row, so pleased with that performance. And yeah, I don't like this cap as much because it doesn't or fully seals in the moisture. Just throw that for now. Maybe depending on how my weekend plans shape up, I'll do a stream on Saturday. Probably not though. The next streams will probably be on some weeknights next week, because you know there will be definitely more work on the aerial to be done later. And yeah, thanks again for watching, everybody. And yeah, we're coming right up on 2.5 hours. Yes, I am keeping it wappy, Robert. 2.5 hours, that means I've done 8 hours of streaming this week, so that's pretty good. Alright, well that's enough waffling from me, so I'll say goodnight, everybody, and hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.